I don't feel like myself lately. I became lazy. I don't go to the gym anymore. I broke my rather strict diet and now I eat bread and buns and I feel a bit tired, more than usual. Well, honestly, I feel like I might have lost quite a bit of self-esteem. Quit this shit and get yourself together. I'm definitely out of shape, but I'm back in business. Let's talk a bit. First of all, laba diena. Quite some time passed since my last appearance, and I feel a bit guilty. I feel like I owe you something, mainly because quite a lot happened around here in the workshop, and I'm thinking to kick this off with the workshop tour. So let's go. So let's start with this corner. Yeah, it's a mess. My apologies for that, but you know, that's part of the story. This workshop rarely gets super pristine, or at least it doesn't last. So yeah, it's the way it is. Of course, we will take this out next week, but you know. Anyway, in the spring, I participated in the auction of the closed company, and I bought quite a few tools and machines. So one of those tools are these enormously long clamps. We don't use these too often, but when you need it, you need it. And the next addition to the workshop is column drill press. It's really handy. We use it a lot. We made a custom shelf for it, and my team, my guys, made this lovely cabinet to store all the bits and drills. So this machine is no longer in production. I doubt any company still makes these, because these got replaced by CNCs. And what it was designed to do is copy stuff. Basically, you have a pin underneath. You can replace those pins and change diameters. And you have a spindle where you can place bits. And using a template, you can basically copy things. But yeah, once we got computers smart enough to do this, it's no longer in use. So why I bought it is because it's powerful and you can place really huge bits into the spindle. But that's not the main reason I bought it. The main reason is because it has a lot of adjustability and it's really precise. So we are using it as a inverted router table, if you will. Basically, mainly because the router is from above, not from underneath. So you have to get used to it, but because of that adjustability, it's a lot more versatile than the router table. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love this machine. Plus, it came with quite a few tools which we placed in the cabinet. And the final machine in this area is the old and trusty bandsaw. You most probably saw it in the other videos. It's just an old bandsaw I restored, and it works really well. The only addition we made is hooked it up to the dust extraction, so it's no longer making a mess. And yeah, we really enjoy it. And speaking about dust extraction, we created an extra connection to this area, so we could maintain a relatively dust-free workshop. Okay, let's talk about this area. So you may know that there's a painting booth in here, so we will come in there a bit later. But this area used to be a lot different. We used to have a bandsaw over here and some wood storage in that spot, but you know, we haven't used that wood storage too much. It was really inconvenient, so we moved it to the other space, which I will talk about later. So we converted this area into some, you know, sandpaper storage, some, you know, wood storage or whatever up top. And the main idea, the main thing is this closet, which is now dedicated for the lacquers, paints, and stains and that kind of stuff. So we basically moved everything out of the painting booth and placed it into this closet. Of course, we created an extraction, so no fumes would accumulate here. So it's you know, safe. And the main reason we did that is to increase the area in the painting booth, but also it reduced the surface area for the dust to land. So it's a lot easier to maintain the cleanness or maintain the, you know, dust-free painting booth, which is really important. So now it's a lot more spacious and a lot cleaner than it used to be. So I guess let's go in there. There's not that much to talk about this area. It's basically a room for painting. It's really well lit. We have an extraction wall over there, and the fresh air comes through this pipe and through here. Also, it collects the fumes from the closet I talked earlier, and you know, the fresh air and clean air kind of drops here and goes all the way to the other side, and it's being transferred onto the roof. So that's the basic principle of the painting booth. We have some pressurized air and some pistols, how do you call it, painting guns. And again, I got lucky in the auction, so we have like super pro painting equipment here. So this puppy costs like 1,000 euros. It cost me like, I'm sure, 10. So yeah, we got lucky. Yeah, so let's move on. That's another addition to the workshop. It also came from the same auction. This is a belt sander, and since we produce quite a few tabletops, after you trim it to the final size, you have to sand the edges, and it's a bit a pain in the butt to sand it with the orbital sander by hand. So that's where this machine comes in really handy, and it saves a lot of time, and guys loving it. So it came without the power feeder. We took it off of a spindle molder, and now it's permanently set in here, and I have to buy another feeder for the spindle molder, but since it's a lot more necessary in this area, so we keep it here. So basically, yeah, you place a table, your workpiece, and it fits through the belt, and you have a consistent smooth edge afterwards. And of course it has a lot more versatility than just sanding the edges. You can sand whatever in here. It has like this wheel, so you can sand you know, concave shapes, I guess. Anyway, you get the point. And I also made this collection on magnets, since it's cast iron, so you can place it in whichever spot you are working. So now we come to this box. Probably you already know what it is. It's a white belt sander. You saw it in a lot of my previous videos. I bought it from my colleague once he shut his business down, and it's a game changer for the wood shop. So basically you have two belts. One is a coarser belt, and this is a finer belt. And there's a feeding belt which feeds the material through those sanding belts, and basically it sands the material flat. That's about it, but it's really efficient, and it saves a lot of time. Of course, it's a bit of a luxury to have it. Not every workshop can own this machine, but since we produce tabletops, it's really handy. And I have a pro tip for you. If you have this machine, you can use a really coarse belt on the first, we call it group, but I'm sure, on the first belt. And I ordered special belt. Its grit is, I believe, number 24, so it's really coarse. We use it for 1 year and still sharp, and yeah, it's really effective. So basically you can use this machine as a planer and remove like up to 1 millimeter of material with a single pass. Yeah, that's it. I want to show you the rack we made. Unfortunately, one of the rails broke, so I can't show it how it works, but I guess you already get the idea. So there's basically a pulley system. There's a pulley behind this board, and there's a counterweight. So basically it moves up and down, and you replace the belt and move it up. I'm really proud of this. I really love how it looks and how much space it saves. Okay, I have a lathe here. I don't really like it. It's long, but it's underpowered, and it's really flimsy. I would like to talk about these actually. These are basically styrofoam blocks covered with fabric. I can't believe how handy these are in the workshop. These are very lightweight, stiff enough, but also quite soft, so you won't dent your workpiece if there's something laying on these, like a chip or something. So this will absorb the dent, if you will, absorb the chip, and it's so handy when you have to place something. You can just kick this, place it. You can place two and place your tabletop workpiece, whatever, and it's really handy in the work site when you have to bring it to the client or whatever. And I almost forgot that I have a dust extraction over there. It's I'm not sure. I don't know what to say about it. It's really powerful. I'm really glad I paid extra money to get it a bit overpowered for the machines I used to have, because now we can leave free ports open and it still sucks all the dust. So yeah, really like it. We didn't want to place anything, any machinery against the window, since we enjoy the sunlight. So that's why we created a hardware screw storage, so it doesn't take a lot of space, and we have like a good working area around here. So we have one working area over here. My colleague restores the furniture and he works here, and that's his spot. So now we come to the let's call it the main area. We work the most around this workbench, and that's because all of the hand tools are, positioned around this table, so it's really handy, and it doesn't interrupt the workflow. I'm not gonna explain what's in these drawers. All I can say that these are fully stacked to the top, and we might need to make some extra storage. But this one's new. We really like this one. It has like precise angles. It has a lot of adjustability, great dust collection. It's a great saw. Yeah, a scroll saw and a tiny drill press. We use it a lot. It's really handy to have a drill press nearby the workbench. The only problem is that it's a bit underpowered, and it cannot run these bigger bits. Of course, we can't go without dust collection, so we have this old trusty Festool with a chip container, so we don't have to replace the back so often. And we also bought this coax. I really like the vacuum because it has extra connections here to connect the air power tools. And here we have my small table saw. I mean, it looks really tiny compared to other machines in the workshop, but that's the reason why I keep it, to do these tiny, precise cuts with tiny pieces. But lately I was thinking maybe I should replace it with a similar size table, which would have an insert plate in the middle, so I would be able to run data stack. Because now I can't, because it's designed to have this slot and I can't do anything about it. Anyway, but it's really lovely, lovely machine. And of course here we have my spindle molder, which really needs some power feeding because running spindle molder without power feeder is, I'd say, dumb, because it's really dangerous machine. So this is the only wood rack we kept in this area, in this workshop, and as you can see, it's only small, short pieces, and it didn't make sense to move these away, so you wouldn't have to, run back and forth to grab like a tiny piece. And finally, I would like to talk about this middle area, this central hub of the workshop, and it consists of 3 machines. The panel saw, there's a jointer over there, and a planer over here. Basically, I copied this from my colleague. He used to have this arrangement as well, and it's great because it kind of flows around in the circle, and you don't have to go all over the workshop. And also the dust collection is very neatly situated around that column as well. Let me show you here. Since the most of the work happens in this central hub, if you will, so it made sense to invest into new machines and replace this old jointer and old planer. The main reason was that they weren't too reliable. Stuff used to happen to them, and we can't account for the fixing time or knife replacement or whatever. It's an old machinery, and when we had the budget, we replaced these. Oh, by the way, this one is a bit smaller than the one we used to have. This is 500 millimeters. The other one used to be 630, I guess. But it made sense to downsize it to save some money, because, like I mentioned, we are able to do the flattening on this machine with that really coarse belt. So it didn't make any sense to invest like extra 2,000 to 3,000 to have like this much wider of a table. Here's the rack we use to store the lacquered and painted goods. It's on wheels, so we move it around. It shouldn't be here. It usually lives somewhere around there. And let's go to the office, if you will. It's not an office, it's like a kitchen. But you know, life happens here. It's messy, but like I mentioned, I didn't want to show you like a pristine workshop, which usually doesn't stay like that. So it is usually like this, a bit dusty, a bit messy, and very lively. So we briefly went through the main workshop, and like I was teasing you a bit, that there's more. So we have two more areas. One is more or less a storage, and another one is for metalworking. So let's begin with the storage. It's a bit messy, but there's like shelves all the way to the top, and we use this small room to store our unique pieces of wood for epoxy works. Somehow all of the cardboard got stored here as well. We store cardboard because we use it to pack goods before shipping, so it's really handy. It just doesn't have like good spot, so it stays here for now. And here on the opposite side is our lumber storage and sheet goods as well. So here we store our sheet goods, all kinds of sheets from chipboard to MDF and plywood and even laminates. Anyway, this is our ash. We use a lot of ash in our projects, so this is only for ash. This is a mixture storage. We have all kinds of wood, and yeah, and here's our trolleys to move stuff around. And I'm still thinking to make another like standalone storage, which would be used like to store oak and maybe pine from two sides. Now both of these are like one side storage, and I would like to make a two-sided one. Let's quickly move through the rest of the area. So this room is like my colleague's office. It's work in progress. That's normal. And this is his storage. He works with chipboard mostly, so he rents this area and he works here, and he fixes his ATV, I guess that's how it's called in English. And this is the messiest area, I guess, because there's just stuff which doesn't fit in any type of storage format, if you will. So it's all over the place, but I guess that's part of life. Yeah, but we are working on solving this issue. As you can see, there's a shelf being installed, so we will store a lot of stuff up there, like these easels or, you know, finished products. I almost forgot to say to mention why we rented this area. When it was available, I jumped into the opportunity to rent it out because we were already running out of space for storage. But the main reason was that it is straight in front of the elevator, so bringing stuff in here is really convenient. This is a lot smaller area, but that's perfectly sized for our needs at this time. So this is my colleague's space, if you will. He joined our team, so I let him store his stuff in here, and he used to work mostly on site, so most of his tools and equipment is meant for that. So that's really handy for us. It kind of a great addition. And the other side is well, I'm thinking to use it for epoxy because this area is a lot less dusty. So yeah, this is the metal area. So this area will be for metal welding. I mean, it already is for metal welding. So I have my old MIG welder. I bought a TIG welder, but it's a bit of a sorry sight. I really need to make a card for it, and I really need a better saw, a bandsaw for metal, because this one is a bit wobbly. Well, anyway, I'm really fortunate to have this equipment and being able to work already, but you always strive for better stuff. It made sense to place grinders nearby the welding area because you often go hand in hand between these two processes. This grinder is really powerful and in a very good condition, so we are keeping it as it is. It's the same one but a lot more beat up, so I'm thinking to replace the grinding stone for polishing wheel or maybe wire wheel. So yeah, that's the idea. This is an old Russian drill press. It needs restoration. I'm really doubtful how well we'll be able to restore it, so I guess we will make it functional, and that will be it. The main reason I bought it is because it's powerful and because it has a hands-free drilling action. And this is the lathe. It's an old lathe, but it's in pretty good condition, good enough for me at the moment while I'm still learning. So this is a hand-operated bending machine, bending tool. It's basically for bending circles and arches and whatnot. It was cheap enough not to pass it, so I bought it. And of course we have to have the metal storage, and we have scrap storage over there, and of course some shelves, carts and stuff like that. So it's nothing special, it's a small area. It needs a lot of work and additional equipment to run it properly, but somehow I'm really excited about this area. I'm not sure, maybe because there's so much potential and new stuff to learn in here, which is completely new for me. I'm not sure. Plus, it's a wonderful asset to have when you run a woodworking business, because when you have machines, stuff breaks, and being able to fix it by yourself is just a blessing. So yeah, I'm really grateful to own this. Yeah, I guess it's enough for now. Sincerely thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.